Logging into my computer really quickly before we get started. Forgot my password, y'all. Drop down in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I want to know. Let me know. It's been a busy week at work, y'all. Typically, I'm live from the office, but this week is finals week. And, lipstick on my teeth. I have not had enough time to really shoot a video with so much happening. So I decided to go live tonight. I'm thinking of starting to go live at least once a week in addition to my Wednesday videos. So drop down in the comments and let me know, like, what are some lives that you'd like to see from me? What topics? Education, regular Miss Dugan stuff. Let me know. All right, I got this pulled up. So today we are talking about the latest student loan forgiveness email. I actually got it. Let me see, what does the date on this email say? I got it on Tuesday. I got it yesterday. Today's Wednesday. So I got this email yesterday. I'm wondering if anybody else got it. I haven't seen too much in the news or blogs or from other education folks on social media. So I definitely want to know, what do y'all think of this? What does this mean? What should you be doing? We'll talk about that tonight. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to share this live video. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, y'all. We're almost at 900 subscribers. So hey to all of my new subscribers. I am so excited that you are here. Y'all, Miss Dugan got some big things popping. So definitely be on the lookout for 2023. I'll kind of talk about that more as the year kind of gets on. So if you're joining in, drop down in my comments. Let me know where you're from. Let me know if you got this student loan email. I definitely want to know. Was I the only one who got this? I don't think so. It came from the Department of Education. So it's a pretty, big deal if the Department of Education is sending it out to you. And the title of the email actually says correction in big, like huge block letters. And then it says status of your student loan debt relief application. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll read the email, and then I will read it again as more folks come in. But I got the email yesterday on December 13th at about, it came out to me at, early at 6:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. And it's from the Department of Education, the U.S. Department of Education. It says correction status of your student loan debt relief application. So the email reads, due to a vendor error, you recently received an email with a subject line indicating your application for the one-time student loan debt relief plan had been approved. The subject line was inaccurate. The body of the previous email was accurate. We have received your application but are not permitted to review your eligibility because of ongoing litigation. We will keep your application information and review your eligibility if and when we prevail in court. We apologize for the confusion, and you do not need to take any further action at this time. We will keep you updated with any developments. And that was it. So that email came out on yesterday. If you have not checked out, I believe I made a video about this maybe the week before last, but it talked about the email that went out maybe like 2 weeks before that, and the headline read, your student loan application has been approved. And basically in the email it said, hey, we've gotten your application. Right now things are on a pause, but Once we have a decision made about student loan forgiveness, if you don't know, the Biden administration is appealing to the Supreme Court. That decision, they're supposed to start hearing those arguments in February, so we still got some time for that. But right now, everything is on the pause. So this email was really a follow-up to that email because, yeah, the first email was very misleading. When you look at your email and you see student loan application approved, what are you thinking? Like, you're thinking, oh, yeah, my check should be cleared, or my balance should be zero like any day now. That's basically like what a lot of people thought that email meant. I actually saw somebody post and he was like, y'all, my student loan application was approved. I should be getting my forgiveness. And like, that's not what that meant. So I'm glad they sent out this correction. I want to know, like, what do y'all think this correction means, though? Like, for them to kind of double back and say, hey, we messed up. Sorry we did that. We're in current litigation. Basically, that's slang for ain't nothing happening right now. So I want to know, like, drop down in the comments and let me know, what do you think them sending out this correction email really means? Like, let's read between the lines here. When I saw this, I was like, student loan forgiveness ain't happening. You might want to, pick up a second job like I did, or maybe a third one for some of y'all balances, and pay these people because it's not looking good, folks. I'm sorry. Y'all know Miss Dugan is very optimistic, but I'm just feeling like, Like, of course, Grandpa Biden, we definitely hold you in high regard. Auntie Kamala, we hold you in even higher regard. But I think they may have bit off more than they can chew here, y'all. Because, the states are suing. I can't think of the states off the top of my head right now. That's in the previous video. But the states are suing y'all. And they're like, this is really going to mess up some things. Because if people, don't pay this money back, what's going to happen to, these student loan companies? What's going to happen to these programs? They're going to go in the dump. So, yeah, it is a money thing, right? If nobody pays, people gonna lose their jobs. There will be no more student loan, people to even call you or lick the envelope to put it in the mail for you because they're gonna, start cutting people. So of course, a lot of folks are shaking just in their boots regarding that. But so they're going to fight tooth and nail. This is going to the Supreme Court. That's pretty serious. And the Biden administration is hoping, fingers crossed, that, the Supreme Court is going to say, hey, Grandpa Biden, this is legal. You can do this. Forgive the people their loans. That's what they're hoping. But according to this email, let me scroll down again. We will keep your application information and review your eligibility if and when we prevail in court. It's kind of like you remember growing up and your mom was like, yeah, we'll go here, if I get off of work on time or, if I get paid. Like, that means no. It's no, it ain't happening. I see the hope in this email. But the practical Miss Dugan is like, listen, I haven't seen anything yet. Now, I've seen, we've seen the typical student loan forgiveness, which is folks with disabilities, their loans have been discharged. People who went to these schools that are now defunct, they're out of business, or was seen to be involved in like fraudulent practices, meaning they weren't doing what they were supposed to do with the federal monies that they were receiving. We have seen them, prevail. But that's like a select group of people. Also, the PSLF, they really broadened that just a lot more by allowing payments to count that didn't count, just opening up the field for people who had previously been denied, or for people who, were approved, but they couldn't, something happened where they made a late payment, because that was a stipulation on that program. You could not make a late payment or you were out of it. A lot of people didn't know that. So there are a lot of folks who will receive student loan forgiveness through that. But that's different from the president, saying, hey, you need to forgive these loans um, with the stroke of his pen. Those things like that were already in place, y'all. They just have kind of broadened them to affect more people. But this right here, where the president, of the United States is saying you need to forgive 10K in student loans, 20K in student loans because I said so, that is a little different, y'all. So I don't know. I'm not, the most hopeful. Y'all know my student loan story. I had $14,180 in student loan debt. So I actually, when I graduated college from undergrad, I think I had about 17K, maybe 17 or 18K. Y'all, I never really paid on them things like that. I was like, it's just at that time, for a long time, it wasn't a priority for me. So, I was just like a lot of folks out there, like, I ain't worried about that. They ain't gonna get it back. That was definitely, deferring, and not really realizing that interest is accruing. That was something that I wasn't quite like aware of at that time. So I graduated with about 17K in student loans, did not pay on them. And then, but I was a teacher, and I was a special education teacher, and I worked in Title I school. So there is a teacher loan forgiveness for any teacher who's watching this or sees this. If you are a special education teacher, I believe if you're a STEM teacher as well, so those sciences or maths, and you're working in a Title I school, basically a school that is in a lower socio-economic environment, then you do qualify for student loan forgiveness. It was 17.5, I believe. You have to work in that you have to work in the Title I school for 5 years. So I did meet that requirement, and I got my student loans forgiven, like a huge portion. I got the 17.5. So that was good, but I still had student loans left over because y'all know I was a financial mess back in the day. I went to grad school for free, but during the summers, I was a teacher at the time, so I didn't work. So I took out loans during that time, to make sure that I wasn't on the streets holding up a sign. Instead of getting a job, like I definitely could have gotten like a second job. A lot of teachers work second jobs, and they love their second jobs. So shout out to my teachers who work second jobs that love their second jobs. If you're a teacher, drop it in the comments and let me know what's your second job, what's your side hustle. But yeah, so that increased my loan balance. So once I got the student loan forgiveness for being a teacher, that was in 2020, I believe. That took care of about half of those loans, or a little over, I guess more than half. I can't tell you the balance that I had at that time. I want to say maybe, with the student loans that I took out during graduate school during the summer, I want to say that it probably was like 30. But I can't quite remember. But once I got this teacher student loan forgiveness, my balance went to 14,180. And by that time, COVID happened, so everything was frozen. There was no interest accruing, there was no nothing. So in September 2020, I started my debt-free journey. And that is when I, started paying off all of my debt. I did the debt snowball. I did not pay on my student loans within my debt snowball because they weren't accruing like any interest or anything. And but once I got to that point, it was my student loans and my car. So my student loans were actually less than my car. They kind of were like, and it wasn't like a huge difference. I think my car was a little over 14, and then my student loans were 14.1. So I was able, so once I got to that portion of my debt snowball, I started paying off my student loans. It took me 9 months to pay off $14,180. I was moving, y'all. I was knocking those things down. I want to say it was 6 loans. So I had 6 loans, and the smallest was like 1,000. The biggest was 5,000. So that 5,000 chunk kind of took me a minute. So now as I think about it, this time last year is when I got to my student loans. So I actually was finishing off paying my student loans, I believe. So I was trying to pay them off by December 2021, so last December, but I had that big chunk of like 5,000, y'all. So it took me like a little minute. I actually finished in January, like maybe like the second week of January. I remember I was in my office and my student loans actually had gotten transferred to another loan holder. I do have a video about that for you to do, just for different things for you to know in case your student loans get transferred to another loan holder. It is so important for you to make sure that you do what you need to do so that nothing gets lost in the riffraff. But my student loans were about to be transferred. I actually got the email the morning that I was going to pay them off. So I was like, what? I thought I was going to have to wait, y'all. But I didn't. It didn't give me the option to make a payment, but it gave me the option to do a pay off. So I was able to do a pay off, and I paid my student loans off $14,180 in 9 months in January 2022. So y'all know I don't have any debt. Don't have any student loan debt, car debt, credit card, none of that. I'm debt free. But I did, once I saw that you could put in a refund for the payment, to get my to collect my coins of $14,180, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. So I did put in the application for that. I haven't gotten any correspondence or any funds back just yet. If you have, drop it in the comments and let me know. I'm actually hoping that I don't until they make a decision on this, because don't refund my money if I'm still owed. So I'll keep y'all updated on that. But I say all that to say that, what this email means is don't put your hope, don't put your faith in the government. We don't know what they're going to do. We don't have any control over. You only have control over what you can do. So, and you definitely have control over being able to go out and make money. So, and I was just saying this to somebody today, y'all, making money is like easy. Like, you don't realize how easy it is. And that's a good thing about America. Like, you can, do things that can't be done in other countries, like deliver food. Shoot, hold up a sign on the side of the road. Some of those people make good money doing that. Go get a part-time job at Domino's. There are things within our country that you can do to make more money. And these places are hiring like crazy, y'all. So if you, want to be like me and just not really worry about what the government is doing, because this doesn't really affect me. Of course, I'm going to keep reporting on it because it does affect a lot of people. But it feels good that no matter what they do, like, my debt is paid. So, I am keeping my ear to the streets to see if I'm going to get a refund. But outside of that, my debt is paid. So I don't have to worry. I don't have to keep my fingers crossed. I don't have to, really put a lot of stock in this. So I would recommend that you look into some side hustles. So what are you good at? What can you do between the hours of 5 and 9? I think Anthony O'Neill said, and he's a financial advisor, used to be with Ramsey Solutions. He's doing his own thing now. But he said that, like that 5 to 9 hour is like, it's not your 8 to 5. It's like your 5 to 9 or your 5 to whatever that's going to get you out of debt. Because your 8 to 5 is really, for you to maintain. But that 5 to 9 hour or that 5 to midnight hour, that's the money making hour. So yeah, I made, the most money after I left my full-time job. So think about, what can you do to, make some more money? What can you do to, just put a little more towards your student loans? The pause has been extended until June, so they're hoping that a decision will be made by June, and then either 60 days or 90 days after that, they are going to put the interest back in. Basically, payments are going to resume. So we have been in, next month will be 3 years, y'all. 3 years, no payments. 3 years, no interest for folks who have those public student loans. So what can you do, well, within the last 3 years, I know a lot of people have like serious like student loan debt. Mine wasn't that much. But you can still put a big chunk in it. So a little helps, especially with no interest. That's how I was able to get that thing down in 9 months. I know somebody who paid off, hers are probably over 70, and she paid off, she was working to pay them off, and she put a big chunk in there, but I know they're paid off now. So yeah, it can be done. Don't be discouraged. Don't fall into that trap. Oh, I'ma just, let this follow me to the grave. Ha ha ha. Y'all know things like this sneak up at the most inopportune time. Like bills just pop up, you get a flat tire, and that's like the domino effect. Like everything want to come due, or you lose your job, and that's definitely, the domino effect. So what I'm recommending is look into a side hustle, see what you can do to start chunking away at these student loans. And if they forgive it, they forgive it, right? Because if you have over 20K or over 10K, depending on what loan forgiveness you get, what happens when they don't forgive, all of that, and you still have a balance, So you could be working towards paying that right now. So to anybody who is out there who are paying off their student loans, drop it in the comments and let me know, what are you, working towards for your side hustles to really pay this thing off. I definitely want to know. Be encouraged. You got this. It can be done. I'm a living witness. Debt free in July. Did my debt free scream in August. So you can do it. Also, I definitely want to encourage you to make sure that you are paying attention to the updates from the DOE. So make sure that your email is up to date, your phone number, whatever. Go in there and make sure that all of those things are up to date. Because if they do, approve the student loan forgiveness, you want to make sure that it doesn't miss you. You want to make sure that they have all of your correct information. You can still fill out the application. The application is still live. So if you haven't done that, I have a video for that as well. So definitely check out that video and go complete it. Also, I want to know, what are your questions that you have about student loan forgiveness? Y'all know I try to report on this on a bi-weekly basis. As there are other updates, I'll probably just start going live, right then, or I'll record just in the office as well. But let me know, what questions do you have about student loan forgiveness? What questions do you have about my journey? What do you want to know more about? Was there something that I didn't explain that maybe you want to know more about? Did you get this email? I want to know that too, because I haven't seen a lot about this email. And yeah, y'all, I'm excited to be doing lives. Y'all will see a lot more of live Miss Dugan, whether it is about educational topics or just little fun things. Shout out to all of my new subscribers. I am so excited for y'all to be here. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I greatly appreciate your support. If you haven't, make sure you follow Miss Dugan, Miss Dugan09 on all social media. So Instagram, I'm on Instagram. I am on Facebook. And then you can follow my regular Facebook as well, Alexis Dugan. Post a lot of cool videos over there as well. So, all right, y'all, that's all I got today. My second live is done. Can't wait to do more. And I'll see you next time. Bye.